Welcome back to Fluency English Podcast. I'm David, and today, wow, we are diving deep into, well, what I think is the single most frustrating habit every single language learner knows. I'm talking about that agonizing delay, that mental stop sign that just pops up every time you try to speak English, the mental translation lag.
Hello, I'm Lucy, and I'm so ready to get into this because the source material you provided, it doesn't just give a diagnosis, it gives a genuinely actionable zero-cost trick, something everyone listening can use to immediately improve their speed and, actually feel fluent.
That's it exactly. Our mission today is laser-focused. We're cutting the cord on that constant, exhausting mental translation loop. We've pulled out this custom three-step method, what the sources are calling the three-step trick, and it's really designed to just, well, rewire your brain for thinking in English.
Okay, so let's start where our sources begin, with the diagnosis. We need to put a name to that internal struggle, what it looks like from the outside. The sources call this phenomenon the buffering face.
The buffering face. I know that face. I know that pause. It's the worst.
It is the worst, and you've definitely seen it. It's that awkward, silent pause when someone's asked a simple question in English. They want to respond, but their eyes just sort of glaze over.
Yeah.
Because they're mentally translating everything word for word from their native language. They're just frozen.
That analogy is perfect.
Yeah.
It really is like watching an old computer trying to load a website. It lags, it freezes up, and you can practically see that little spinning wheel right behind their eyes. Maybe you're nodding right now, recognizing that look on your own face.
And that lag, it just shows how incredibly inefficient the whole process is. The sources are very clear on why this happens. It's because the learner is treating English not as a language for direct thought, but as a translation code.
Okay, wait, but how can we avoid translation completely? I mean, for a beginner, isn't it kind of essential when you first see a new word?
That's a really fair point, and it's a crucial distinction. Translation is a necessary tool for learning, but it becomes a bad habit in conversation. That's what causes the lag. The sources explain that the habitual translator feels they have to first decode the English they hear into their own language,
Right.
then build the perfect answer there, and then re-encode it back into English to speak.
That's a three-step process when it should just be one. A huge neurological detour.
Precisely.
And that double translation loop is what just demolishes your conversational speed. It makes everything feel so stiff.
Exactly. So we have to train the brain to skip that detour, to build a direct link between the concept or the image and the English word itself.
Okay, let's unpack this. If translation is the bad habit we need to break, how do we fix it? What's the practical solution our deep dive sources give us?
The good news is these are just habits, and habits can be replaced. We just need to substitute that old slow habit with 3 new fast ones.
And these are the 3 steps the sources call the 3-step trick. And just for everyone listening, we're going to pause a little bit between each step to make sure it's all perfectly clear. Ready for step 1.
Let's do it. Step 1 is called the sticker method, and it's all about visual association. The main rule here, and this is really non-negotiable, is that you have to stop connecting English words to native words.
You're cutting out the middleman.
Exactly. That internal thought process of, say, mesa equals table.
Or silly equals chair.
Yes, that has to go. That is the detour. Instead, you connect the English word directly to the physical image of the thing.
So it's a purely visual link, bypassing the whole language comparison thing?
Exactly. And the sources have this incredibly simple exercise. You can start right now. Look around the room, wherever you are. If you see a lamp, you have to immediately think LMP. You don't let your native word even enter your head. Imagine physically sticking a sticker with the word LMP on the object.
I see. So what you're doing from a brain science perspective is creating the shortest possible path between your eye and your mouth.
You're skipping the cognitive load. When you link the English word to the image, you retrieve it in one step. When you translate, your brain has to do 2 searches, one for the native word and a second for the English word. It just takes time.
That makes so much sense. So this works for concrete things I can see. But what about abstract concepts? Words like, I don't know, opportunity or determination. You can't put a sticker on those.
Great question. For abstract words, you use the same principle, but you connect the word to a feeling or an image that represents it. For determination, you might picture someone crossing a finish line.
Okay.
For opportunity, maybe a door opening. You still refuse to let the native word be the bridge. You connect English directly to the core feeling or the metaphor.
Got it. The goal is always a direct connection. Okay, so that was step 1, the sticker method. Let's move to step 2, which they call chunking.
Or sometimes the Lego method, which I love.
Yeah, that one's great because you're building with ready-made blocks.
Right. And what's fascinating here is how native speakers actually talk. We don't speak in these robotic individual words like, I'm going to the store.
No one talks like that.
No, we speak in pre-assembled blocks of sound, in chunks.
And that's such a crucial insight. If you're only learning individual words, you're always scrambling to build a sentence in real time. The exercise here is to learn those common phrases, those Lego blocks, instead of treating every word separately.
And the sources give a perfect everyday example of this. Instead of your brain having to process 4 separate words, you should learn the compact spoken chunk, I'm gonna.
Right. And the key insight there is that I'm gonna counts as just one unit for your brain. It's like using one big Lego block instead of 4 tiny little ones.
So that single decision is so much faster. And the benefit here is incredible. The sources claim this one technique can reduce your sentence processing time by a massive 50%.
50%?
Yeah.
That is a bold claim. I mean, does that apply to everything? If I'm talking about, astrophysics, I can't just cut my time in half with I'm gonna.
That's a good point. Context matters. This claim is really focused on conversational fluency. In everyday English, a huge part of your speech uses these common structures.
Right.
If you can automate the start of your sentence, you free up all that mental energy to focus on the more complex words at the end.
So it's about automating the grammar scaffolding. Okay, we need more examples for the listeners' Lego collection.
Definitely. Beyond I'm gonna, you should focus on chunks like I'm looking forward to.
Wow, that's a good one.
Or the question structure, do you think we should? Or the phrase, it seems like. Learning just those 3 lets you skip the decision-making for the first 4 or 5 words of countless sentences.
That's incredibly powerful. You move from assembling the pieces to just deploying the whole machine.
Exactly. Which brings us perfectly to the final step. Step 3, the one they humorously call the crazy person method.
I love that name. It makes it sound like a fun experiment, not homework.
It's the ultimate application phase. The rule is simple. You practice when no one is watching.
Because you're going to be talking to yourself.
A lot. The exercise is to just walk around your house and narrate your actions out loud in English. So for example, I might walk into my kitchen and I literally say out loud, I am opening the fridge.
Okay.
I am grabbing the milk. I am pouring the coffee. I'm not talking about abstract ideas. I'm just describing simple, immediate reality.
Okay, but here's a challenge I know learners will feel. If I'm narrating my life and no one is correcting me, won't I just be practicing bad grammar, reinforcing my own mistakes?
That's a natural concern, but the purpose of this stage is not grammatical perfection. It's about speed and habit formation. You are training your brain to choose English first.
Oh, I see.
And these simple descriptions, subject, verb, object, are usually pretty low risk grammatically. Once you break the translation habit, then you can focus on perfecting the grammar. But if you never break it, the grammar won't matter because you'll always be too slow.
So it's about building that automatic internal monologue. It's the final practice that switches your brain's default setting from translation to direct processing.
So if we bring it all back, the main takeaway is simple. Translating isn't a required stage, it's just a bad habit. And you now have the tools, these 3 steps, to break it.
That is some truly actionable advice. We've gone from the problem to a complete strategy. And we want to issue a challenge to you right now. As soon as this deep dive ends, try the sticker method today. Walk through your room, look around, and silently label 5 things in English. Do not let your native language word pop into your head.
And building on the chunking method, start practicing with the blocks we mentioned. I'm looking forward to, whoa, do you think we should? And it seems like practice using those as single units. You'll feel that efficiency gain almost immediately.
Brilliant. Get chunking, get sticking, and start narrating. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive into fast fluency. See you in the next one.